Where's the jungle?
Oh my god.
Wait. We're in the wrong box! In the back of your head!
What in the Sam Hill just happening?
Full drop.
What are you talking about? I just passed my driver's test. We're not gonna make.
This is Jumanji, the next level 8, and you've never seen the game played like this before. Welcome to ReelSignal Studio. Jumanji, the next level is a 2019 American action-adventure comedy movie directed by Jake Castle. He also helped write the script along with Jeff Pinkner and Scott Rosenberg. This movie is the fourth film in the Jumanji series and is a direct sequel to Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, released in 2017. The main cast returns, including Dwayne Johnson, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, Karen Gillan, Nick Jonas, Alex Wolff, Morgan Turner, Sir Darius Blaine, and Madison Iceman. New actors joining the film are Awkwafina, Danny Glover, and Danny DeVito. The story is set 2 years after the events of Welcome to the Jungle. The same group of teenagers comes back together, but this time they are joined by an old friend and two unexpected people who get pulled into the game by accident. Once again, they become trapped inside the dangerous world of Jumanji. Inside the game, everything has changed. The characters face new locations, harder challenges, and different problems than before. Some of them even end up with new avatars, which causes confusion and comedy. To escape the game, they must work together and stop a new villain who is threatening the land of Jumanji. Filming for the movie began on January 21, 2019, and ended on May 11, 2019. The movie was shot in several locations, including Atlanta, New Mexico, Alberta, and Hawaii. Jumanji, the next level was released in the United States on December 13, 2019, by Sony Pictures Releasing. The movie received mostly positive reviews from critics and audiences. It was a huge box office success, earning about $802 million worldwide, while the production budget was between $125 and $132 million. This made it the 10th highest grossing movie of 2019. Another sequel in the Jumanji series is planned and is expected to be released on December 11, 2026. 3 years after the events of the last movie, Spencer, Fridge, Martha, and Bethany have all gone their separate ways and are living different lives. They make plans to meet again in Brantford, but Spencer feels nervous about seeing everyone. He believes his friends now have better and more successful lives than him, especially Martha, since he paused their relationship. On his first night back, Spencer realizes that his time inside Jumanji was when he felt confident and important. Feeling lost in the real world, he decides to return to the game. The next day, Fridge, Martha, and Bethany grow worried when Spencer does not show up. They go to his house, where they meet his grandfather Eddie, who is staying there while recovering from hip surgery, and Eddie's old friend Milo Walker. Inside the house, they discover that Spencer secretly kept the broken pieces of the Jumanji game. The group decides to enter the game to rescue him, but the game malfunctions. Instead of pulling everyone in, it only sucks in Fridge and Martha, along with Eddie and Milo. Bethany is left behind and later contacts another former Jumanji player, Alex Vreek, to help her get back into the game. Inside Jumanji, Martha finds herself once again as Ruby Roundhouse, a skilled fighter who is now able to use nunchucks but is still weak against Venom. Fridge ends up as Professor Oberon, a smart but physically weak character who now also has weaknesses to heat, sun, and sand. Eddie becomes Smolder Bravestone, the strong and confident leader, while Milo becomes Mouse Finbar, a small but intelligent character who lacks speed and strength and is weak to cake. Shortly after entering the game, Fridge is eaten by a giant python and loses his first life. They meet the game's guide, Nigel Billingsley, who explains that Jumanji has changed. A cruel and powerful warlord named Jurgen the Brutal is the new villain. He stole a magical necklace called the Falcon's Heart, which brings life and fertility to the land when exposed to sunlight. Because Jurgen took it, Jumanji is suffering from a terrible drought. The group must recover the necklace before Jurgen sells it to a criminal group, and they must return it to the sun to save Jumanji and escape the game. Nigel drops the group into a harsh desert called the Dunes, where they realize their strengths and weaknesses are different this time. They escape a dangerous group of ostriches, but Eddie loses his first life during the chase. They reach an oasis, where they finally find Spencer. He is now trapped in a new avatar named Ming Fleetfoot, a female thief with skills like stealing and lockpicking, but who is allergic to pollen. Spencer quickly loses his first life and apologizes to everyone for re-entering the game alone. Later, they encounter one of Bravestone's former lovers and her husband, Switchblade, who turns out to be Bravestone's new weakness. Fridge and Martha recover a required Jumanji berry and discover a glowing pool of water that switches their avatars whenever they enter it. Eddie, Milo, and Spencer secure camels to travel through the desert. However, as they leave the oasis, Switchblade attacks them with a rocket launcher. Because Eddie becomes overconfident and delays the escape, every member of the team loses a life. Tension begins to rise within the group. Fridge struggles because Oberon's lack of strength makes survival harder. Spencer feels insecure and does not fully use Ming's abilities. Milo keeps important information to himself and acts too casually. Eddie's reckless behavior causes the entire group to lose more lives. Their situation worsens when Eddie confronts Milo for secretly selling their diner years ago, forcing Eddie into retirement. The argument ends badly when Milo is crushed by a giant boulder, costing him another life. The group narrowly escapes a troop of mandrills while crossing rotating bridges, but Martha loses another life. With only one life left each, they reunite with Alex and Bethany. Bethany's new avatar is Cyclone, a black horse. They find another glowing river similar to the one near the Jumanji fruit tree. Spencer, Fridge, and Bethany regain their original avatars, while Eddie and Milo switch into Ming and Cyclone. Shortly afterward, Eddie and Milo are captured by Jurgen's soldiers. Inside Jurgen's fortress, Fridge and Bethany distract the guards while Spencer and Martha rescue Eddie. Alex saves Milo but loses 2 lives in the process. During the final battle, Spencer fights Jurgen aboard an airship and uses the Jumanji berry, Jurgen's only weakness, to defeat him and send him falling to his death. Milo's avatar reveals hidden wings, allowing him and Eddie to fly. They take the falcon's heart and expose it to sunlight, ending the drought and saving Jumanji. Eddie, Spencer, Fridge, Martha, Bethany, and Alex return safely to the real world. Milo, who was dying in real life and entered the game to make peace with Eddie, chooses to stay behind and protect Jumanji forever. After everything is over, Spencer bonds with his grandfather by teaching him about video games. The group reunites at Eddie's old diner, where Eddie uses Bravestone's confidence to convince the new owner, Nora Shepard, to hire him as the manager. In a mid-credits scene, a heating repairman hired by Spencer's mother finally arrives. He discovers the Jumanji game in the basement, and while working on it, both he and Spencer's mother are presumably pulled into the game. At the same time, a group of ostriches escapes into the real world, which Spencer, Fridge, Martha, and Bethany witness from outside the diner. The casting of Dwayne Johnson as Dr. Xander Smolder Bravestone in Jumanji, The Next Level marked a continuation of his role from the previous film, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, but with significant twists that demanded a fresh approach to his performance. Johnson, known for his larger-than-life persona in action films like Fast, Furious and Rampage, was initially cast in the franchise for his ability to blend physical comedy with charismatic heroism. Director Jake Kasdan, in interviews, emphasized that Johnson's return was essential to maintaining the core dynamic of the series, noting that the actor's versatility allowed him to embody not just Bravestone's archetypal explorer traits but also to channel the personality of Danny DeVito's character, Eddie Gilpin, for much of the film. This body swap element was a deliberate casting decision to shake up the formula, as Kasdan explained that the big opportunity in the Jumanji conceit was having the cast play different people each time, preventing the sequel from feeling repetitive. Johnson's portrayal involved mimicking DeVito's gruff New York accent and mannerisms, which critics like Peter Deborah of Variety described as unintentionally hilarious. adding layers of humor to Bravestone's otherwise stoic character. Johnson's casting history in the franchise dates back to early development of Welcome to the Jungle, where his star power was seen as a key draw. With a reported $23.5 million salary for the next level, his involvement underscored Sony's investment and bankable talent. Caston highlighted in discussions that Johnson's chemistry with co-stars like Kevin Hart was a driving force, stemming from their real-life friendship, which translated into authentic on-screen banter. In behind-the-scenes commentary, Johnson himself revealed that the villain Jurgen the Brutal was designed as an avatar, hinting at future casting possibilities. But for this film, his duo role Leah, including a flashback as Bravestone's father, required him to tap into emotional depth rarely seen in his action roles. The decision to have Bravestone acquire a new weakness, evading Switchbladea, further challenged Johnson physically, leading to elaborate stunt sequences filmed in locations like Hawaii and Alberta. Casting Johnson also involved coordinating his busy schedule, as Caston noted the need to align production around major stars to preserve the ensemble feel. Overall, Johnson's reprise was not just a safe choice but a strategic one, allowing the film to evolve while leveraging his global appeal. Jack Black's return as Professor Sheldon Shelley Oberon brought a unique comedic energy to the ensemble, building on his acclaimed performance in the first film where he channeled a teenage girl's personality. Black, famous for roles in School of Rock and Kung Fu Panda, was recast for his impeccable timing in body-swap scenarios, which Caston praised as a cornerstone of the franchise's humor. In The Next Level, Oberon's avatar is controlled by multiple characters, including Frigid Bethany, requiring Black to adapt his portrayal dynamically, as starting with an overweight cartographer weakened by heat and sun, then shifting to embody different personas. This flexibility was a key reason for his casting, as Caston aimed to shake things up by having actors impersonate each other, a concept Black embraced with improvisational flair. Black's involvement began in February 2019, alongside other returning teen actors, reflecting a structured casting timeline that prioritized continuity. In interviews, Black has commented on the meta aspect of the role, noting how it allowed him to explore gender and identity in a light-hearted way, drawing from his own experiences in comedy. Caston, in a Collider interview, lauded Black's ability to bring depth to what could be a caricature, especially in scenes where Oberon deals with new scientific expertise. The actor's real-life enthusiasm for the project was evident in press events, where he discussed the physical demands of filming in diverse locations and how it contrasted with his voice work in animated films. Black's casting also tied into broader franchise trivia. He once confirmed that the series considers Zathura as part of its continuity, influencing how roles like Oberon evolve across entries. His performance, blending slapstick with heartfelt moments, was crucial in balancing the film's action with comedy, making his recasting a pivotal decision for maintaining audience engagement. Kevin Hart's reprise as Franklin Mouse Finbar showcased his knack for physical comedy, particularly in embodying Danny Glover's Milo Walker for much of the film. Hart, a stand-up comedian turned actor with hits like Cried Along, was originally cast for his contrast with Johnson's size, creating visual gags that Caston wanted to amplify in the sequel. The decision to have Finbar, a diminutive zoologist with animal linguistics skills, controlled by Glover's elderly character, added layers of irony, as Hart had to mimic Glover's slow, deliberate speech patterns while performing high-energy stunts. Caston revealed that this body swap was conceptualized early, inspired by the success of similar dynamics in the first film, and Hart's improvisational skills were key in bringing it to life. Hart's casting was confirmed in the initial wave of returns, emphasizing his role in the core quartet. In ABC News interviews, Hart and Johnson discussed their off-screen friendship influencing on-screen chemistry, with Hart noting how Glover's input shaped his performance. Caston, in discussions about the sequel's development, highlighted Hart's ability to ad-lib jokes, many of which were incorporated after Glover and DeVito contributed their own lines. The actor's physical transformation for the role involved practical effects and training, filmed across Atlanta and New Mexico, where Hart's energy helped morale during long shoots. His casting also reflected broader themes of friendship and reconciliation in the plot, mirroring Milo's estrangement from Eddie. Hart's involvement extended to promotional tours, where he shared anecdotes about learning from Glover, adding authenticity to the intergenerational appeal of the cast. Karen Gillan's role as Ruby Roundhouse evolved significantly, with cast unintentionally centering more action around her character to highlight her leadership. Gillan, known from Doctor Who and Guardians of the Galaxy, was recast for her athletic prowess and comedic timing, which shone in the first film's dance fight sequences. In The Next Level, Roundhouse gains nunchuck mastery, and Gillan briefly swaps with Fridge, requiring her to adopt a jock's demeanor. Cast praised Gillan's brilliance in interviews, stating she led the charge this time, a decision made to deepen character arcs. Gillan's casting was part of the core returns in February 2019, and behind-the-scenes photos she shared showed her training with Awkwafina, emphasizing female empowerment in the ensemble. The scantily clad commando role drew some criticism for objectification, but Gillan defended it as empowering, influencing Caston's direction to focus on her skills over appearance. Her performance, blending martial arts with humor, was vital in scenes like the ostrich chase, filmed in Alberta's cold climates. Caston noted Gillan's reunion with the cast brought fresh energy, and her input on fight choreography shaped key moments. The casting choice underscored the franchise's shift towards stronger female leads, with Gillan's versatility ensuring Roundhouse remained a fan favorite. Nick Jonas returned as Jefferson Seaplane McDonough, the pilot avatar, a role that connected back to his character's backstory from the first film. Jonas, a musician and actor from Camp Rock and Kingdom, was cast for his youthful appeal and ability to portray vulnerability. In The Next Level, Seaplane's role is more supportive, but Jonas's casting in February 2019 allowed for continuity in Alex Vreek's arc. Caston appreciated Jonas's musical background, incorporating it subtly into the character's charm. Jonas's performance involved aerial stunts, and his chemistry with the ensemble was highlighted in press as. The decision to bring him back was part of maintaining the franchise's emotional core, with Jonas sharing in interviews how the role challenged his acting range beyond music. Awkwafina's addition as Ming Fleetfoot was a fresh injection of talent, cast in January 2019 as a thief avatar with pollen weakness. Known from Crazy Rich Asians and Ocean's 8, Awkwafina was chosen for her comedic timing and ability to handle body swaps, initially as Spencer's avatar then Eddie's. Caston explained her casting came after the script, but her improvisations enhanced the role. In IMDb Live events, Awkwafina discussed waking up to Golden Globe news before the premiere, adding buzz to her involvement. Her performance, blending burglary skills with humor, was praised for bringing diversity, and behind the scenes with Gillan showed their collaboration. Caston noted her energy revitalized the ensemble, making her a strategic new addition. Rory McCann's casting as Jurgen the Brutal, the warlord villain, brought a menacing presence from his Game of Thrones role as the Hound. Cast as the antagonist responsible for Bravestone's parents' murder, McCann's physicality was key, with Johnson revealing Jurgen is an avatar for potential sequels. Caston selected McCann for his intimidating stature, filming intense confrontations in Alberta. McCann's role involved heavy makeup and stunts, and his casting added gravitas to the adventure elements. In interviews, Caston discussed balancing villainy with comedy, crediting McCann's commitment. Danny DeVito's role as Eddie Gilpin, Spencer's grandfather, was a coup, cast in January 2019. Known from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Taxi, DeVito was chosen for his iconic persona, which Johnson mimicked. Caston said DeVito wrote many jokes post-casting, enhancing the script. DeVito's estrangement from Glover's Milo mirrored real dynamics, and in interviews, he and Glover enjoyed the set despite name confusion. His daughter Lucy's cameo as a maiden added family touch. Caston lauded directing legends like DeVito, noting his energy inspired the younger cast. Danny Glover's casting as Milo Walker complemented DeVito, bringing warmth from Lethal Weapon. Cast in January, Glover's slow delivery was mimicked by Hart, adding humor. Caston appreciated Glover's ad-libs, and the pair's real friendship influenced the reconciliation theme. Glover's performance, focusing on reflection, contrasted the action, and his involvement was highlighted in press as intergenerational appeal. Alex Wolff reprised Spencer Gilpin, the anxious college student, cast in February 2019. From Hereditary, Wolff was chosen for his emotional depth, which Caston praised for grounding the fantasy. His arc, struggling with adulthood, drove the plot, and Wolff's input shaped Spencer's vulnerability. Morgan Turner's Martha Copley, Spencer's girlfriend, evolved from shy to confident. Cast in February, Turner from Invader Zim brought authenticity to the teen dynamic. Caston focused on her relationship with Spencer, crediting Turner's growth. Sir Darius Blaine's Fridge Johnson, the jock-turned-student, added humor through avatar swaps. Cast in February, Blaine from Charmed was selected for his physical comedy. His performance highlighted friendship themes. Madison Iceman's Bethany Walker, now a travel influencer, brought sass. Cast in February, Iceman from Annabelle Comes Home adapted to avatar changes. Caston noted her evolution mirrored the group's. Rhys Darby's Nigel Billingsley, the NPC guide, was confirmed in March 2019. From Flight of the Conchords, Darby's deadpan was essential for exposition. Colin Hanks reprised Alex Vreek in May 2019, adding continuity. From Fargo, Hanks's family man role tied to the original. Maren Hinkle as Janice Gilpin provided maternal support. Known from The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, her casting added emotional layers. Supporting roles like Vince Pisani as pharmacy manager and Dorothy Steele as village elder filled the world. Bebe Neuwirth reprised Nora Shepherd from the 1995 film, a nod Caston cherished. Additional NPCs included Jennifer Patino as Bravestone's mother, Massey Ferlin as Switchblade, Dani Ramirez as his wife. Cast March 2019, John Ross Bowie as Cavendish, Naomi Opera as Guard, Lucy DeVito as Maiden, and Lane Warren Morris as Repairman. Morris, from New Girl, cast himself per Caston, with a mid-credits tease. The casting process, spanning January to May 2019, blended returns with new talent under Caston's vision, creating a dynamic ensemble that propelled the film's success. Production development and pre-production. The development of Jumanji, The Next Level began shortly after the massive commercial success of its predecessor, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, which earned close to $1 billion at the global box office in 2017 to 2018. The unexpected success of Welcome to the Jungle, which served as both a sequel and reboot to the 1995 Robin Williams classic, created significant momentum for Sony Pictures to greenlight a follow-up. However, the production team faced considerable challenges in developing a sequel that would justify its existence rather than simply capitalizing on this first film's success. Producer Matt Tolmach, along with his collaborators at 7 Bucks Productions and Columbia Pictures, found themselves in a unique position. Sony Pictures Entertainment Motion Picture Group chairman Tom Rothman wanted the sequel ready for a Christmas 2019 release, giving the team an extremely compressed timeline to develop the project. This meant reassembling an ensemble cast of extremely busy stars, including Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, Karen Gillan, and Nick Jonas, while simultaneously crafting a storyline that would honor the spirit of the first film while offering something genuinely new. The development team was keenly aware of the pitfalls that plague most sequels. As Tolmach explained in interviews, they didn't want to make a sequel simply because that was the expected next step. The plot had to remain true to the essence of what made Welcome to the Jungle work while simultaneously turning the formula on its head. The creative challenge was finding that balance between familiarity and innovation. Director Jake Caston returned to helm the sequel, bringing with him screenwriters Jeff Pinkner and Scott Rosenberg. The trio co-wrote the screenplay, building on the foundation established in the previous film while expanding the universe considerably. The key creative breakthrough came when the writers conceived a new body swap twist that would revitalize the concept. Rather than simply having the same 4 teenagers return to inhabit their video game avatars, the team decided to introduce elderly characters into the mix. This led to the casting of Danny DeVito and Danny Glover as Spencer's grandfather Eddie and Eddie's estranged business partner Milo. respectively. The concept of placing these veteran actors into the bodies of the much younger and physically fit avatars portrayed by Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart created fresh comedic possibilities. Johnson would essentially be playing Danny DeVito's character while Hart would embody Danny Glover's persona, allowing both action stars to stretch their comedic muscles in unexpected ways. The pre-production phase also involved significant expansion of the Jumanji world itself. While Welcome to the Jungle was primarily set in jungle environments, the next level would take players through diverse landscapes including arid deserts, snowy mountains, and various other terrains. This narrative decision had substantial implications for the production logistics, requiring the team to identify and secure multiple filming locations across several states and countries. The writers also developed new characters and threats for the sequel. The main antagonist, Jurgen the Brutal, portrayed by Rory McCann, known for his role as the Hound in Game of Thrones, was conceived as a formidable villain who would challenge the heroes in ways different from the previous film's adversary. The addition of Awkwafina to the cast added another layer to the ensemble, with her character Ming Fleetfoot serving as Spencer's new avatar after the game's mechanics changed. The pre-production period was remarkably short by Hollywood blockbuster standards. Most major studio tentpole films complete principal photography nearly a year or more before their theatrical release to allow adequate time for post-production, marketing, and distribution planning. However, the next level operated on an accelerated schedule from the very beginning, reflecting both Sony's confidence in the property and the tight window created by the cast's availability and the targeted December release date. One of the crucial elements of pre-production involved determining how to expand the scope while maintaining the heart that made the first film resonate with audiences. The emotional core of Welcome to the Jungle centered on the personal growth of mismatched teenagers who learn to work together and appreciate each other's strengths. The next level needed to find a similar emotional through line while dealing with a larger cast and more complex character dynamics. The solution involved exploring themes of friendship, aging, and unresolved relationships through the characters of Eddie and Milo. Their strained friendship and eventual reconciliation would provide emotional weight to balance the action and comedy. Meanwhile, the returning teenage characters would deal with the challenges of maintaining their bonds after being separated by college and different life paths. Filming principal photography on Jumanji, The Next Level commenced on January 21, 2019, and wrapped approximately 4 months later on May 11, 2019. This relatively brief filming period was part of the project's accelerated production schedule, designed to meet the ambitious December 2019 release date. The production represented one of the fastest turnarounds from filming to theatrical release for a major studio blockbuster in recent memory. The filming strategy for The Next Level differed significantly from its predecessor. While Welcome to the Jungle was shot primarily on location in Hawaii with some stage work in Atlanta toward the end of the schedule, The Next Level essentially reversed this approach. The production began with a 2-month shoot in Atlanta, Georgia, utilizing 5 soundstages at Blackhall Studios. This extensive studio work allowed the filmmakers to create controlled environments for many of the film's more elaborate set pieces and special effects sequences. The Atlanta shoot also included practical location filming in the surrounding areas. The production took over downtown Noonan, Georgia, where the picturesque main square doubled for the fictional town of Brantford, New Hampshire. Specific locations included 19 West Court Square and 8 East Washington Street, where the fictional Nora's Diner was established. The beautifully preserved period streets of Noonan made it an ideal stand-in for a New England town, and the area has become a popular filming destination for numerous productions. In Atlanta proper, the production filmed at several locations including Georgia State University and various residential neighborhoods. Alex's family home, for instance, was actually located at 156 Westminster Drive Northeast in the Ansley Park neighborhood of Atlanta. The versatility of Atlanta's filming infrastructure and experienced crew base made it an efficient hub for the production's extensive studio and practical location work. After completing the Atlanta portion of filming, the production moved to multiple locations to capture the diverse environments required by the script. The American Southwest provided the backdrop for many of the desert sequences, the Glamis Imperial Sand Dunes, also known as the Agadones Dunes, located near Yuma, Arizona, served as a primary desert location. This recreation area, sometimes called the sand toy capital of the world, allowed the production to stage elaborate action sequences involving ostriches, dune buggies, and other vehicles. The film crew built extensive sets featuring old scattered vehicles rotting under the desert sun. Notably, this location had previously been used in Star Wars: Return of the Jedi for the Sarlacc pit battle sequence. The production also traveled to New Mexico, taking advantage of the state's film incentive programs. The iconic Shiprock formation on the Navajo Nation served as a dramatic backdrop for action sequences, particularly the fight scene between Drs. Anders Mulder Bravestone and Franklin Mose Finbar. The distinctive geological feature provided a visually striking setting that enhanced the exotic nature of the Jumanji world. For the film's snowy mountain sequences, the production moved to Alberta, Canada, specifically the Kananaskis Valley in the Canadian Rockies. Mount James Walker provided the setting for glacier scenes and the mysterious stronghold of the villain Jurgen the Brutal, which was CGI enhanced into the fictional Mount Zatmire. The natural beauty and dramatic landscapes of the Canadian Rockies have attracted numerous high-profile productions, including Cold Pursuit, War for the Planet of the Apes, and the Oscar-winning film The Revenant. Hawaii, which had served as the primary location for Welcome to the Jungle, was utilized again for the next level, though to a lesser extent. The production filmed on the island of Oahu, capturing additional jungle and tropical sequences that maintained visual continuity with the previous film while the story expanded to new environments. One notable sequence involving stone pillars and mandrill monkeys was inspired by the Zhangjiajie National Forest Park in Hunan Province, China. However, this entire sequence was accomplished through green screen photography and extensive CGI work rather than actual location filming. The distinctive stone spikes, formed over centuries of physical erosion in a subtropical forest setting, provided a unique visual aesthetic that the visual effects teams replicated digitally. The filming process required extensive coordination between the actors and the stunt teams. The physical comedy and action sequences demanded precise choreography, particularly given the body-swapping premise. Dwayne Johnson had to embody Danny DeVito's mannerisms and movement patterns while maintaining the physicality expected of an action hero. Similarly, Kevin, Sony's distribution team coordinated with theater chains to ensure optimal screen allocations and show times that would accommodate anticipated high demand during the crucial opening weekend and subsequent holiday season. The film's family-friendly PG-13 rating ensured broad accessibility while the action and humor appealed to older audiences as well. The theatrical run extended well into early 2020, with the film maintaining presence in theaters through the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday weekend and beyond. The extended theatrical run allowed the Next Level to continue accumulating box office revenue while capitalizing on the traditionally strong movie-going period between Thanksgiving and early February. Home media. Following its successful theatrical run, Jumanji: The Next Level transitioned to home entertainment formats in early 2020. Sony Pictures Home Entertainment orchestrated a strategic release across multiple platforms designed to maximize revenue while providing consumers with various options for enjoying the film at home. The digital release preceded physical media, with The Next Level becoming available on digital platforms on March 3, 2020. This two-week window before physical media allowed early adopters and digital-preferring consumers to purchase or rent the film while building anticipation for the disc releases. Major digital retailers including Amazon Video, iTunes, Vudu, and others offered the film in multiple formats including standard definition, high definition, and 4K Ultra HD with support for advanced features like Dolby Vision HDR and Dolby Atmos immersive audio where supported. The digital release included access to bonus features on select platforms, though the extent of supplemental material varied by retailer. This strategy incentivized consumers to choose specific digital storefronts that offered more comprehensive bonus content alongside the feature film. Physical media formats arrived on March 17, 2020, providing consumers with tangible options including DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray editions. Sony released multiple SKU configurations to appeal to different consumer preferences and price points. The standard DVD edition offered the film in standard definition with basic audio options and limited bonus features, serving as the budget-friendly entry point for casual viewers. The Blu-ray edition presented the film in 1080p high definition with advanced audio options including Dolby Atmos, DTS HD Master Audio, and other formats depending on the specific release. This edition included substantially more bonus features than the DVD and often came packaged with a DVD copy and digital redemption code, providing multi-format access for consumers. The 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray represented a premium home video option, showcasing the film in 2160p resolution with high dynamic range, HDR10 and Dolby Vision on compatible displays, and immersive Dolby Atmos audio. This format allowed home theater enthusiasts to experience the film with image and sound quality approaching or exceeding theatrical presentation on properly equipped systems. The 4K edition typically included the standard Blu-ray and digital copy as well. A later re-release in September 2022 offered a refreshed 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray package, allowing consumers who had missed the initial release to acquire the film in the premium format while Sony continued capitalizing on catalog sales. The home video bonus features provided substantial value for fans seeking deeper engagement with the film. The centerpiece supplemental documentary, Level Up, Making Jumanji, The Next Level, took viewers behind the scenes to explore the production process, including the breathtaking locations, new characters, and challenges faced by the cast and crew in escalating the adventure from the first film. Character-focused featurettes explored specific aspects of the production. Body swapping, snapping into character examined how the actors approached their roles given the complicated dynamic of portraying characters inhabiting video game avatars. This featurette highlighted Dwayne Johnson's transformation into Danny DeVito's character, Kevin Hart embodying Danny Glover, and the other permutations that occurred throughout the narrative. Individual character spotlights included NPC Confessions, Jurgen the Brutal, a comedic mockumentary-style piece where Rory McCann's villain character discussed the challenges of being the bad guy in a video game world. Another character piece, Awkwafina Cat Burglar, playfully documented actress Awkwafina's supposedly overzealous method acting approach to playing Ming Fleetfoot, a skilled pickpocket, with humorous behind-the-scenes footage of her practicing, and perhaps overdoing, her character's thieving abilities. The beloved returning character Nigel, played by Rhys Darby, received his own showcase in Rhys Darby Wants to Jingle. This featurette humorously chronicled Darby's campaign to create a new theme song for the sequel, attempting to top the memorable musical number from Welcome to the Jungle performed by Jack Black and Nick Jonas. The piece showcased Darby's improvisational comedy skills while celebrating his character's popularity among fans. Technical breakdowns of major sequences provided fascinating insights into the filmmaking process. Scene breakdown: Ostrich Chase deconstructed the creation of the elaborate desert chase sequence, revealing how the filmmakers and visual effects teams combined practical stunt work, vehicle photography, location shooting, and digital creature animation to achieve the final exhilarating result. Similarly, scene breakdown: Mandrill Bridges explored the moving rope bridge sequence where giant mandrills attacked the heroes, highlighting the integration of practical set construction, stunt coordination, and digital effects. The traditional gag reel provided lighthearted entertainment through collection of on-set mishaps, blown lines, and comedic moments between takes. These compilations allowed audiences to glimpse the fun and camaraderie shared by the cast during production while offering a more relaxed perspective on the intensive filmmaking process. A unique interactive feature distinguished the physical media releases from digital versions. The 4K Ultra HD, Blu-ray, and DVD editions included a collectible map that employed augmented reality technology to create an interactive experience through smartphone devices. Users could scan the map with a compatible AR application to unlock an 8-bit video game-style experience, creating their own avatars, navigating mini-games, and exploring the Jumanji world in an interactive format that extended the film's video game themes into real-world engagement. This AR experience provided approximately 10 minutes of gameplay and represented an innovative approach to home video bonus content that leveraged emerging technology. Sony coordinated the home video release with a comprehensive marketing campaign that included promotional partnerships with major retailers. Exclusive editions with retailer-specific packaging or bonus items appeared at stores like Target, Best Buy, and Walmart, incentivizing consumers to make purchases through specific channels while providing collectible options for dedicated fans. In April 2021, Sony signed a significant deal with Disney that would eventually bring the Jumanji franchise, along with other Sony Pictures content, to Disney Plus and Hulu's streaming platforms as well as Disney's linear television networks. This agreement specified that Disney's access to Sony titles would occur following their availability on Netflix, reflecting the complex windowing strategies that characterize modern film distribution. This deal ensured that the next level would eventually reach even broader audiences through major streaming platforms beyond the initial home video and digital release windows. The home video release timing in mid-March 2020 coincided with the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic's major impact on North American life. As theaters closed and stay-at-home orders were implemented across many regions, the availability of the next level for home viewing provided timely entertainment options for families suddenly spending much more time at home. This fortuitous timing likely boosted home video sales and digital rentals as consumers sought quality family-friendly content during the early months of lockdown. Reception box office Jumanji: The Next Level achieved remarkable commercial success, ultimately grossing over $800 million worldwide against a production budget estimated between $125 million and $132 million. The film's financial performance exceeded industry expectations and demonstrated the enduring appeal of the franchise, though it fell short of the nearly $1 billion worldwide gross achieved by Welcome to the Jungle. The film's domestic performance began with exceptionally strong preview screenings on Thursday, December 12, 2019. The preview night generated $4.7 million, signaling robust audience interest and setting the stage for a powerful opening weekend. These early returns exceeded initial projections and suggested the sequel would perform at the higher end of pre-release estimates. Opening day on Friday, December 13, 2019, brought in $19.7 million including the Thursday preview numbers. This represented the biggest December opening day in Sony Pictures history and established records for December debuts for Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and director Jake Kasdan. The strong Friday performance indicated that audiences were enthusiastically returning to the Jumanji franchise despite the presence of other holiday season competition. The Next Level's domestic opening weekend exceeded expectations with a total of $59.3 million, easily claiming the top position at the box office. This opening represented a 66% increase over Welcome to the Jungle's $36 million opening weekend, though a direct comparison is complicated by the fact that the first film opened on a Wednesday rather than Friday. Nevertheless, the substantially higher opening weekend demonstrated increased brand awareness and audience anticipation for the sequel. The film averaged $14,017 per theater across its 4,227 locations during the opening weekend, reflecting strong consistent performance across different markets and geographic regions rather than concentration in specific areas. This broad-based appeal validated Sony's wide release strategy and suggested strong word-of-mouth potential that could sustain the film throughout the holiday season. Internationally, The Next Level launched with comparable strength. The film earned $85.7 million from 39,900 screens across 52 markets during its initial international weekend, contributing to a worldwide opening of approximately $145 million when combined with domestic grosses. These international results demonstrated the franchise's global appeal and suggested the sequel would match or exceed its predecessor's overseas performance. The United Kingdom provided one of the strongest international openings, with the film earning $12.6 million over a 5-day period including previews. This result exceeded Welcome to the Jungle's UK opening by 32%, indicating that the franchise's appeal had strengthened in this key territory. Russia similarly showed improved performance with a $9.29 million opening compared to the previous film's $5 million debut, representing substantial growth in another significant market. The film's second weekend saw it earn $26.5 million domestically, representing a reasonable hold despite facing competition from the highly anticipated Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, which opened that weekend and claimed the top box office position. The Next Level's ability to remain competitive against a Star Wars release reflected the strength of its audience appeal and positive word of mouth. The crucial Christmas holiday period proved exceptionally lucrative. Over the 5-day Christmas frame, The Next Level grossed $59.2 million domestically, demonstrating the film's appeal as family holiday entertainment. The extended weekend allowed the film to accumulate substantial revenue while benefiting from school vacations and family gatherings that traditionally drive theatrical attendance. By January 2, 2020, Jumanji: The Next Level had accumulated $209.7 million domestically and $339.1 million internationally for a worldwide total of $548.8 million. This pace put the sequel slightly ahead, approximately 3%, of Welcome to the Jungle's performance at the same point in its release when comparing international markets excluding China. However, Chinese performance proved weaker than the first film, with The Next Level ultimately grossing $41.1 million compared to Welcome to the Jungle's $78 million in that crucial market. Jumanji: The Next Level, 2019, a movie overview and public opinion. Jumanji: The Next Level is a Hollywood action-adventure comedy film released in 2019. It serves as the sequel to the successful 2017 movie Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle and continues the modern reboot of the classic Jumanji franchise. Directed by Jake Kasdan and produced under Sony Pictures, the film was designed to deliver large-scale entertainment with a mix of action, humor, fantasy, and family-friendly fun. According to Google search results and public reviews, the movie is widely described as an entertaining and energetic sequel that builds on the strengths of its predecessor while introducing new elements to keep the experience fresh. It is often categorized as a fun adventure film that does not take itself too seriously and focuses heavily on enjoyment rather than deep drama. Cast and performances: one of the most praised aspects of Jumanji: The Next Level is its cast. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, once again brings strong screen presence, physical comedy, and charisma that audiences have come to expect from him. Kevin Hart delivers fast-paced humor, expressive reactions, and comedic timing that many viewers find highly entertaining. Jack Black is frequently highlighted in Google reviews for his versatility and ability to switch tones effortlessly, while Karen Gillan is praised for combining action confidence with charm. Together, the main cast shows strong chemistry, which many critics say is one of the main reasons the film works so well. The movie also introduces veteran actors such as Danny DeVito and Danny Glover, whose inclusion was widely discussed online. Google reviews often mention that their performances added a new layer of humor and personality to the film, making it feel slightly different from the previous installment. This mix of younger and older actors was seen as a smart creative decision that broadened the movie's appeal. Direction and production quality: director Jake Kasdan received positive feedback for maintaining a balance between action and comedy. Google reviews suggest that the pacing of the movie keeps viewers engaged throughout, with enough variation to avoid feeling repetitive. The direction focuses on clarity, allowing the audience to easily follow what is happening without confusion. From a production standpoint, Jumanji: The Next Level is considered a high-quality film. The visuals are colorful and polished, with strong use of modern CGI and special effects. Action sequences are presented on a large scale, giving the movie a cinematic feel that works especially well in theaters. Cinematography is another area that audiences appreciated. Wide shots, detailed environments, and dynamic camera movements contribute to an immersive viewing experience. Google discussions often highlight how visually appealing the movie is, especially for fans of fantasy and adventure genre. Music and sound design. The film's music and sound design play an important role in enhancing the overall experience. According to public opinion, the background score is energetic and well-timed, supporting both action and comedic moments. The music never overwhelms the scenes but instead complements them effectively. Sound effects are crisp and impactful, particularly during high-energy moments. Google reviewers frequently mention that the audio quality adds excitement and helps maintain a sense of scale and intensity throughout the movie. Humor and entertainment value. Jumanji: The Next Level is often described on Google as a pure entertainment movie. The humor is largely family-friendly and accessible to a wide audience. Instead of relying on offensive jokes, the film focuses on situational comedy, character interactions, and exaggerated reactions. Many viewers appreciated that the comedy feels natural rather than forced. The timing, expressions, and dialogue delivery all contribute to moments that feel genuinely funny. Because of this, the movie appeals to both younger viewers and adults, making it suitable for group or family viewing. Box office performance and popularity. From a commercial perspective, Jumanji: The Next Level was a major success. According to Google Index data, the film earned over $800 million worldwide, placing it among the highest-grossing films of 2019. This strong performance reflects the popularity of the franchise and the trust audiences have in its entertainment value. The movie also performed well on digital platforms after its theatrical run. Search trends show continued interest long after release, indicating strong rewatch value and long-term popularity. Reviews and ratings. Google ratings for Jumanji: The Next Level are generally positive. Most viewers describe the film as enjoyable, fun, and worth watching. While some critics noted that it does not drastically change the formula of the previous film, they still acknowledged that it succeeds in delivering what audiences expect. On platforms like IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes, the movie holds solid scores, suggesting that it was well received by both casual viewers and critics. The general consensus is that while the film may not be groundbreaking, it is highly entertaining and effective in its genre. Family-friendly appeal. Another reason for the movie's popularity is its family-friendly nature. Google reviews often point out that the film avoids excessive violence or inappropriate content. This makes it a suitable option for viewers of different age groups and a common choice for family movie nights. Final public opinion. Based on Google search results, public reviews, and audience feedback, Jumanji: The Next Level is widely regarded as a fun, visually impressive, and entertaining sequel. It succeeds in delivering laughter, action, and excitement without becoming too complex or heavy. Overall, the movie is recommended for viewers looking for light-hearted entertainment, strong performances, and a high-energy cinematic experience. It stands as a successful continuation of the modern Jumanji franchise and remains popular among fans of adventure comedy films.